And so we're back with another week of Katekyo Hitman REBORN, guys. And I was thinking to myself before I came to do this video after the Hell's Paradise, and even though this isn't the regular day of doing review videos, thank you for your patience. Okay, I was pretty tired from yesterday because coming home from a late night shift night prior, I was thinking to myself that, and I put a post the night of yesterday or something like that. Do you believe we're gonna hit 1,000 by the end of this month? A lot of you were like, yes, hell yes, F yes. Like, that's what I love to see. But on top of that, I was thinking for a 1,000 subscribers video, I was thinking of doing a reaction video for Katekyo. So I would ask you guys probably in a community post or probably when I'm doing one of the regular review videos. Oh, sorry. Tell me what episode you want me to, and heck, you can even do it right now. So we'll keep doing this until the end of this month. We hit the 1,000. What episode? And if I see a number repeat itself multiple times, to say like I see multiple 100s, if I see at least 5 people saying do reaction to episode 100, or I see 7 people saying, oh, do reaction to episode 85, if I see it multiple times, that's the video, the episode I will react to. And then we get back to regular. And I might do it as a live stream, so if you guys want to come on and chat it up while I'm watching the episode, I'll do that as well. So while I'm reacting to the episode, it's going to be a live stream as well, okay? So that's what's going to happen. Not only is going to happen when the channel hits 1,000, so let's make that happen, okay? I want to do that for you guys. I want to chat it up while I'm watching an episode of Katekyo. Let me just get back to watching Katekyo again for the first time in a while. So with this week's chapter 103, we continue off from 102, and obviously Gokudera, when we thought Gokudera had it in the bag, he injured Bell. At first we thought, okay, he won the fight through the bombs. He figured out Bell's technique and attack, how it worked. It was due to the string he attached to Gokudera before the fight actually happened. Okay, so that's why no matter how Gokudera moved, the knives will follow. Okay, very almost invisible wire was attached to Gokudera. So once he realized that, he dismantled Bell's attack, and then he threw his bombs, or the way he threw them was due to the technique that he finally mastered from Dr. Shamal with his dynamite moving twice. The way they move throughout the air, they hit once and then they move again twice and they land on the target. And you would have thought, okay, he got Bell, he won the fight, and that's it. No. From the panel, all you see is speech bubbles, and if you watch the anime, you would have heard the laughter. That Bell got injured, but he's laughing for a whole different reason. It's because Gokudera managed to spill his blood. Now we get into chapter 103 where that continues on, and he's like, oh my god, ha 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 ha, it's not stopping. And we have where Gokudera's just like, okay, what's there to laugh for? What is he up to? Soon enough, others are like, this is getting very scary, very serious, very fast. But on the Varya side, they're like, one, Bell is probably the hardest to understand in terms of his methods. And then we have where Mamon, what he said was very intriguing, and it will probably jolt some of your memories and everything about Bell, especially giving a little insight into his background. So I will best compare this to Marvel's Thor and Loki. I forgot which movie it was. I think it was Ragnarok? Yeah, Ragnarok. And where Thor was explaining to Hulk and to Valkyrie that Loki, when they were kids, Loki transformed into a snake. right? And then he spooked Thor, and then he stabbed him. Of course, Thor survived, but now think of this. Of course, in this case and scenario, Belle actually has an older twin brother. So remember when they said in the last chapter, Belle is from a royal family. Okay, we don't know exactly where they're from, but he is a prince, and he is the younger twin of an older brother. They never mentioned his name. So no spoilers, guys. No spoilers. If you watch the anime, right? And these two would always bicker and fight with each other. It got to the point where Belle stabbed his own brother multiple times to death. And then when he had all of his blood over him, okay, he's like, I mistook my own brother for a cockroach. Now I know a lot of us have siblings, whether it be a twin or a younger or older sibling or anything of that sort. And you don't resort to calling your own sibling something so demeaning as a roach. Roaches are nasty. Okay. And from there on, ever since he killed his brother, he's just been so fascinated with blood. Particularly his blood, because they share the same blood due to being relatives, especially twins and everything. And he was very happy for that. And I think I mentioned in previous video, not last video or probably a video before, something like that, with Belle, he joined the Varia because he was bored. They're an assassination group. Now they kind of just gave insight. The reason why he joined the Varia is because that joy he felt from killing his own brother, it wouldn't go away. So now he finds a group, an excellent group of assassins that kill for money. And I don't even think he's doing it for the money. He's doing it simply because he's allowed to just end his next target's life. And that's why he's with the Varia. Mad, I know, mad. So we got that little bit of info on him, and you know, we truly understand just how crazy this guy is. And it makes the situation even more dangerous, because later in the chapter they explain to us how much minutes exactly has passed. In the last chapter it was 5 minutes. Now it's only 6 minutes remains on the clock. And mind you, out of all the 3 fights that we've seen so far for this scramble to get the rings, this is by far the most treacherous and the most scary fight out of all of them. Simply because at the end of the day, this fight was really not meant to happen, because Zanzis got the rings due to practically Suna's actions. Okay, this fight is more of a throwaway. All the fights after the Lambo fight is a throwaway, basically meant to kill off anybody, and it doesn't matter. Once he got the Sky Ring, basically these fights really don't matter, but they do matter to Suna, because his life, no pun intended, and everyone else's that's associated with him is hanging by a thread. And Zanzis is the one holding the thread. Okay, so this match is the most deadliest because it's a death match. All the others were, but this is with a time limit. And on top of that, again, all the fights after, starting from this fight going forward, are just basically throwaways. And Suna can't afford to even say, I don't want to fight. He can't. None of them can. Okay, so as the fight is going on, we see now where Gokudera now goes on the offensive, because he's like, you know what, I'm just trying to finish this guy off. I'm not trying to let time run out on me. So he goes on the offensive. Then Belle just starts booking it. He's starting to run forward towards Gokudera. He knocks the dynamite away from him. They explode and they propel him. Then he throws his knives at Gokudera and they miss the target. But somehow Gokudera gets cut. Regardless. Okay. He gets cut up on the face, which more likely was kind of censored in the anime. And so this causes Gokudera to run and back up, because this is Gokodera and this is Bell, and Bell is coming. So Gokodera is like, no, 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 no. I'm trying to back up because no, this shouldn't have been possible because the knives never hit his face. They never touched his face. But as we know from last chapter, Bell does use string. So more than likely, the same string that he used to attach to the knives is the same string that is cutting Gokodera. And that's how he's getting cut now. So what he does as the more that Bell is approaching him, the faster he is. What Gokodera does to keep a distance is throw like a little bomb in front of him. He gets injured, of course. It propels him back. It injures both him and Bell, both causing them both to have more cuts and bruises and bleeding. And you know, Bell is laughing even more. Yay, more blood! Haha, more blood. And Gokodera is limping. And again, this is like where I was saying that only 6 minutes remain on the clock of the 15. Okay, so that means they just spent about 9 minutes during this entire fight. And you can tell both of them are exhausted. They're on their last legs. Okay, so he gets into the classroom, and the turbines and the bombs, if Gokodera or Bell does not manage to finish this fight within 6 minutes, the whole 3rd floor is going to get destroyed. Okay? And mind you, probably the bombs they use are stronger than the ones that Gokodera is using. Okay? So, yeah, that's kind of bad. So, Gokodera is in the classroom and he's trying to hide. Okay, so at this point, this fight is more strategic, or if anything you can think of, because while Gokodera is hiding, he's trying to lure Bell into his trap, but at the same time, Bell is like, no, I'm gonna come jump in regardless, throw some knives into the classroom with, well, no, they're in the library. He throws it into the library's window, crashes in, throws the knives at Gokodera. Gokodera purposely lure Bell into the library because that's the only place that has one exit left. Okay, and that's where the final showdown is going to happen for this fight. Okay, before the wind turbines completely explode and destroy the whole floor. So Bell and Gokodera throw both their weapons. Of course, he managed to knock them all. None of his weapons touched Bell, but Bell's weapons managed to touch Gokodera, right? And so Gokodera ends up stopping halfway through, but he did get injured by a few knives, my bad. He did get injured by a few knives, and then it knocked him to the side, so he's running and everything. But Gokodera does end up stopping. And they're like, Gokodera, you can't afford to stop. You need to keep moving. You need to find a way to evade Bell's attacks. But Mamon is saying, he's not stopping because he wants to. No, you can't really see it due to the cameras, but he got trapped in Bell's web. The way that Bell was throwing the knives, it wasn't meant to actually hit and damage Gokodera. He was actually invading vital organs and vital parts of Gokodera's body because he wants to trap him in a web of thread. Okay, of wires. So now Gokodera can't move. He's trapped. So if he tries to move, he's going to get sliced by these wires. Okay, so now everybody's kind of frightened. They can't really understand what's going on. They did say that the method that Bell was using for his knives that he's using to attack Gokodera, they say within the knives there's like a tiny hole that he put the wire through, and the type of a technique he's using is called the kamaitachi, and they go explaining saying that like this way 2 methods of cutting are created. The first is to throw the knives even if we think the attack has been dodged. If the trajectory then curves towards the target, the wires attached to those knives will then slice into the target. The second method is to construct a setup by embedding the knives in the wall. The wires become an invisible cutting instrument. He threw the knives to defuse Hayato's bombs before he entered the library for this reason. So again, like I said, he kind of actually lured Gokodera pushed Gokudera. Hence why when you saw early in the chapter where he swatted away the bombs and he kept running towards Gokudera, he was purposely luring him into the library. Strategic move. And then he was using the wires to set up and trap around the library so that when Gokudera does land in his trap, Gokudera is now frozen because he can't move, because if he tries to, he gets cut by one wire or the other wire, depending on which direction he tries to move in. But he does not know who he is dealing with. He is dealing with Gokudera Hayato, okay? So it comes to find out that actually Gokudera was doing the same thing, hence why he ran into the library. What Gokudera did while he was running around was planting gunpowder smoke all over the floor where the wires are. And so he lights them up, and then the gunpowder smokes up, and then it caused an explosion around Gokudera, which broke all the wires around him. Okay, so the wires are now therefore useless against Gokudera, so they can't be used to actually hurt him. So then he goes to throw more dynamite at Bell, and it causes a big explosion, because there's no way that Bell was able to run away from that, like the first time around that we saw in the last chapter. And they ended off with Gokudera saying, "This is the Guardian Storm's attack of Raging Waves," and that's the title. Raging Waves is the title of the chapter. Okay, so basically it's showing kind of almost a repeat of the previous chapter, chapter 102, but this time around, with only 6 minutes left on the clock, this one better be the last final explosion, the last attack, because if he managed to survive, I mean, I know what happens. I'm not going to spoil it for those who are new to the series. But yeah, so the later half of this fight was more strategic. It was more like, how am I going to trap my opponent? I'm going to either trap him by wires. No, I'm going to trap him with the gunpowder and everything. They use the library as that vital point for their attacks. Okay, so like, even though we see Bell acting mad, like crazy, he's even more vigilant and more hyper focused than he was when he didn't see any blood. Okay, because now he's really going all out against Gokudera. And again, it only makes sense because, or probably he's not even really thinking about the time. He's thinking, I'm just here to have fun. I want to kill him. Okay, now that he made me lose blood, Gokudera doing this to get the ring and to win it and to make Suna secure Suna and make him feel calm and everything. But you can obviously tell who's having a fun time versus who's not. Okay, so Gokudera managed to thwart another plan of Bell's, breaking down his web, breaking down his trap once more. So it's either his attack this time around managed to do the trick and finally put a stop to Bell and his madness, or Bell managed somehow to evade, or he took the full force of it and he's still somewhat alive. It's either one of those two. When you're that crazy, I think you might find a lot of possibilities to survive. Or not. It just depends, okay? So guys, do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about chapter 103. How do you feel about this fight now that the time is slowly approaching that point? Do you think they're going to survive? Who do you think is going to win? Like I said, if you are someone who's already read or watched the series multiple times, do not spoil for those who haven't as of yet. But for those who are new, what do you think is going to happen by the next chapter? Because I believe next chapter is the end of this fight. So like I said, do you believe both of them will survive? Do you think only one of them is going to survive? And who will be the one to survive and get the ring? Do tell me in the comment section below. The links are in the description box. You guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends, and I will see you guys later. Bye.